We mentioned Steve Phillips and his comments and his article up on tsn.ca about the struggles of Vladdy Guerrero Jr. And let's bring him on now, the man himself. Here's our Jays and MLB analyst, Steve Phillips. So take us through the article. I thought it was an appropriate timing for it, and I think the facts that were applied by yourself and the technical difficulties that he's running into with launch angles and hitting into ground balls and double plays, we're watching it every single night. Like, what is going on with Vladdy Jr. right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's interesting. He never had much of a launch angle. That even in the minor leagues, it was 10 to 12 degrees, depending upon who you talk to and which system and which organization you're looking at on it. But once he's gotten to the major leagues, it's been even lower, and it was like 6.4 degrees last year. This year it's a little over 7 degrees. And effectively what it means, the idea is, Josh Donaldson was one of the ones that really sort of started people's awareness of this, J.D. Martinez. The idea of hit the bottom of the baseball, create backspin, and that you want to hit the ball in the air as much as you can, that's where most of the damage gets done, whether you hit it over the infield, you hit it to the wall, through the wall, over the wall. But trying to hit the ball on the ground leads to too many outs being made and not enough damage. And the idea of the level swing is sort of in the bygone of everything. It used to be, this swing level through the baseball. That's not really what we do anymore. We want launch angle. And, for Vlad Jr., he, part of this for him was he was sort of lunging at the ball last year. He was over anxious. And when your upper body moves, it changes the path of your bat during your swing. And that's what we saw is that even the what was just maybe average launch angle at best went to below average, and he hit so many ground balls. And that's where he is right now. He's sort of in between, behind the fastball, in front of the breaking ball, and swinging to make contact instead of swinging to do damage. He doesn't have that smile on his face right now. And, it's one that he has to make an adjustment, and we know that he can do it because we watched him in the home run derby. He changed his swing in the home run derby. Now, the good news is a guy like Christian Yelich has really adjusted his launch angle. He used to be a guy that hit the ball on the ground too much before, and now he's changed it, hitting the bottom of the baseball, and he's made some adjustments. But it's not coming easily for Vlad. And, he's going to have to really work at it and try to make these adjustments. It's not happening naturally for him.
Steve, we play a show on this, or a game on this show called Level of Concern, and I know management types, you've obviously been one, they deflect the negative attention away from their players, and they'll say, you know what, we're really happy with their progress. But behind closed doors, do you think there's any kind of real concern with Vladdy, or it's just, with the weight and the conditioning and now the hitting, it's not really going as planned? Yeah.
So what we do as executives is that when something doesn't go as planned, we find the reason to explain it. And I wrote that in the article. In many ways, I was saying, well, he's young, a lot of pressure on him. And effectively, I was trying to find reasons and excuses why I wasn't, why my prediction and my evaluation wasn't coming into play. And it was less about him and more about me. And I think you do that a lot as an executive. The things that happen the way we want them to happen, we're like, oh, yeah, he's making the adjustments we want him to make. Things are going well. And when they aren't. Well, you know what? He's just trying a little too hard. And we protect the player with it. And he is young. And he looked like a man among boys in the minor leagues. And I think maybe in some ways we forget he is still a boy. He's just a kid still. But it doesn't mean he shouldn't be making adjustments. He should be an advanced hitter in the adjustment area because of the fact that he grew up with a Hall of Fame father who, and because, and look, the other part of it is he never struggled in the minor leagues. I mean, that's really, as a farm director, and I ran the minor leagues for 4 years for the Mets, you want players to struggle, and it sounds weird, but you want them to go through some struggles and difficulties so they know how to get out of it. So they have that ability to make an adjustment. And for him, he dominated every level. And when you get to the major leagues, you never really struggled. It is difficult sometimes to find your way out. So again, I'm finding ways to justify the slowness in the adjustments. And it is still young, but he's got to start making them. And what does worry me if I'm an executive is his weight. And here's the thing: it's not really weight. It's where it's distributed. So, for instance, I had players who were pitchers who were big guys, and they thought, I got to go back and lose weight. And what happened was they lost their fastball, or their mechanics were so different because they had a different body. They had to sort of figure out again who they were as a hitter or as a pitcher. How do I make this work with a new body? So it's not about weight. It's about what's your best weight or condition to play and to maximize your ability. And, baseball is all about rotation. And, that midsection, that core is critical in the launch angle part of it, too, how you're going to, rotate your hips, how you're going to drive the baseball. And so there is a little concern for me that he came back for summer camp. He did not have the same body that he went to in spring training, and that is concerning.